Okay, good morning. So, in the last three videos, we discussed about this Magad, we discussed about Mauryan, we discussed about Gupta, and we also discussed about this, different kind of inscriptions, Prashastri, coin, and on the whole, we discussed about this, about the king, right? So, in this, today, what we are going to discuss about, we are going to discuss about a changing countryside. Now, till now we have discussed about the kings, about the kings and everything. Now today in this topic we are going to discuss about a changing countryside. Countryside means a village area, right? Rural area. So we are going to study about what are some kind of changes happen in the rural area during that time. Understood? So within this we have this four subtopic. So we are going to discuss about one by one separately. So first, 5.1, popular perception of king. In this topic we are going to discuss about what are the people opinion about the king, right? What are the subject thing about their king. In this, the strategies for increasing production. In this, what we are going to study about different kind of method adopted by the rural people to increase the agriculture productions. And in this, differences in this rural society. Is there any kind of social or economic division in the rural area? We are going to discuss about it. And the fourth, land grant and new rural elite. In this, we are going to discuss about different kind of land grant made by the king to the rural people, and inside this, those who receive the land, they become rural elite. Elite here refers to big people, the rich people, right? This popular people, I would call. So first we are going to discuss about the popular perception of king. Now the word perception is derived from the word perceive, means to see, right? Now here what we are going to discuss about is what are the people opinion about the king. What people think about the king. See this. What did the subject think about the king? Here the subject means citizen, especially refers to the people living in rural area, right? So what are the notion or idea or opinion of the people toward the king, right? So till now we have discussed about this Gupta Empire, Mauryan Empire, Prashastri, coin, inscription. These all are good source to understand about the kingdoms and king, but these source will never give you information about what the people think about the king. Yes or no? On that, people, especially the rural people, rarely write the account, right? So see, inscription and coin do not provide all the information, right? Of course, right? Never provide the information about what the common people think about, right? And ordinary people rarely write. They rarely write because they are not that much, literate enough, right, to write. Even if they write, who is going to preserve? So they were not allowed to write bad about the king, because if they write about bad about the king, they need to face the consequences. So, and their experience now it's become really challenging for historian to find out now from where we get the information about what people think about the king. So they need to find something, right, to sources. So what they found, they examine or they study analogs like Jatakas and Panchatantra, right? Now analogs means a collection of poem and story like this Jatakas and Panchatantra, right? Jataka usually contain this these kind of story usually contain this Buddhist mythologies. This Panchatantra usually contain this Hindu mythology. See, Panchatantra, right? You must have seen this kind of storybook. And then Jatakas, right? Most of the Jataka contain the story of this previous life of Buddha, right? In this story contain. So now these kind of stories, right? Anthologs, Jatakas and Panchatantra were very popular among these common people during that time. It's a kind of oral story. Later on, around circa 2nd century BC, they compiled into a book, contain short stories, right? So these are the Panchatantra and Jataka. Now, one example of this, the book called Ganta Tendu Jataka, one very popular book of Jatakas. In this book, in this story, it contains what people think about the king. You want to see? One story, Ganta Tendu Jataka, described the difficulty of the subject means people because of the evil king, right? So in one of these story mentioned about this. Okay, let me tell you the story about that story. Once upon a time, there was a king, right? So he was very eager to know what the subject think about him, what the people think about him. So what he did, he disguised himself as a poor people and then went into the this village. When the moment he reached the village, what he did, he randomly asked the people about the king or himself, right? And the answer that he received were mostly people, criticize or say bad thing about the king. When he asked the reason behind that, most of them said, in the night time, they were looted by the robbers, right? And in the daytime, in the name of the tax, they loot by the king. So through that way, the people, it's kind of, he immediately he know that the people don't like him. So it shows that there was some kind of, the relationship between king and these common people not that much good enough, right? On that, people mention like that. Because of that, many people, get rid of this kind of problem. They abandon the village and they run or went into the forest, right? See, some people mention to escape that situation means that kind of problem, right? To get rid of this problem, people abandon means they leave the village and went into the forest. Why they went into the forest? Because forest at that time is nishadas, so forest dwellers. They don't need to pay the tax. They don't need to listen to the order of the king. They were generally so free of whatever they want to do, right? Completely free. So they went into the forest. So these kind of stories tell us about what people think about the king at the time in the rural area. Understood? Now the second point that we are going to discuss about is strategies for increasing production. Now strategies means method or remedy, right? And for increasing production, increasing production here refers to agriculture production. Now, why need to increase the agriculture production? Because country need a good tax, right? During the ancient time, or not ancient time, even today, agriculture is the backbone of economy. So, to meet the demand of this tax, they need to increase the production, of course, right? To meet the demand of the tax, they need to increase the agriculture productions. Right? Now, what are the strategies the rural people adopt to increase the production? Now, first, they adopt shifting of agriculture to the plough agriculture. Shift of agriculture by doing the ploughing agriculture. Right? See, one strategy, one method was the shift to plough agriculture. Plough agriculture, right? In Ganga and the Kaveri, right? And Ganga means this northern plain area, right? Where the Ganga and river Sone used to flow. Over there, land of the alluvial soils were there, fertile were there. And Kaveri is between this Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, right? Even today we have this Kaveri river issue between these two states. And now these two states, soils are very alluvial, very fertile. So these ploughing systems were very good. But these, ploughing strategy is not working almost all India because the topography of almost all India is not the same. So in this Rajasthan and this Punjab area, they still use the hoe agriculture over there. But now first what they do, they used to do agriculture by this hoe and wooden plough to do the ploughing, right? Now later on what the wooden plough and hoe are not that much efficient enough to dig, right? So in the 6th century BC, they introduced wooden plough with iron tip, right? Iron tip was there. So it is far more better as compared to this hoe and wooden plough. So that is one way to increase the production during that time. The second method was to increase the paddy, right? Increase the paddy means rice field, right? Paddy by introduction of transplantation. Now it is a new, it's a kind of transplantation is a kind of this farming process in which what the farmer used to do. First, they sow the seed in a very protected area, right? Around 15 to 20 days. When the sapling were grown till like this 15 or 10 centimeter, then they transplant to the this waterlogged field, right? Just like seed. So right now they are holding this sapling, right? Sapling. Now right now they are sowing, right? Before the sapling, what they do, they grow this kind of, this sapling in protected area, right? when for almost like 10 to 20 days. When it go that much long, 15 to 10 centimeter, then they transplant it to the this waterlogged field, because we know that rice needs huge amount of water to cultivate, right? So these kind of process, you're sowing the seed one by one, is very painstaking process. Nowadays, different kind of machines were used to do this, right? So through that way, the productions of rice were also increased during the time, through that introduction of transplantation is one strategy. And the third strategy they adopt was irrigation, right? Now, India is a monsoon climate, right? Monsoon means rainy season between this June to September, right? Now, good monsoon means good agriculture production. Now, bad monsoon means then what we need? We need water, irrigation, right? So irrigation become one of the key strategies to do the increase the production during the time. So we have this, well, irrigation from the wells, irrigation from the tank, irrigation from the canal, right? So see, irrigation from the canal. Right? Now, nowadays, because of this improvement in technologies, right, we have that kind of advanced irrigation system, right? Sprinkles irrigation. Then we have dipping irrigations were there also, right? So through that way, in the rural area, agriculture productions was increased. But there were some kind of inscriptions, right, which mentioned that these kind of irrigation process works were done by the king. Right? And especially if we take an example of this, Sudarshan Lake in Gujarat, which was first built by this Mauryan king, right? And then later on, it was repaired by this Shaka ruler, Rudradaman. Right? And then later on also rebuilt by the Buddha king. So through that way, king also shows some kind of interest in irrigating the field, right? Because of good irrigation means good product. Good product means good tax. Good tax means prosperity, kingdom. So through that way, it is all about the strategy for increasing production in village or rural area, countryside. Now, third, we are going to discuss about is difference in the rural society. Now here, is there any kind of a social or economic difference in rural area? The question is all about this. Now, just right now, we learn about this increase of productions were there, right? Huge amount of productions were there. Now, the division of these benefits were uneven. Distributions of these profits were uneven, right? Some get more, some get less, right? See, the benefit of increase in agriculture production, just now we discussed, right, were uneven. Very uneven means some person get so many, right? Some get very little, some get nothing at all. Through that way, what happened? Through that way, some become rich, some become poor. And also, rich become richer and poor become poorer. Through that way, it is the main reason behind that division was happening in the society during the time. Right? So through that way, then social difference were there on the basis of access to the land. Right? Some become very rich and some become very poor. Right? Now, archaeology has to find the source to know about is there any different social difference there in the rural society. So they found Buddhist Buddhist literature mentioned about the social division in the rural area. They mentioned there are different kind of social divisions were there. First, landless agriculture laborers, small peasants, and large landholders, right? Gahapatis. Now, landless agriculture laborers means a kind of group of people who do not have, who don't have small piece of land. They don't have any kind of land. So what they do, they used to work on the other's field. They're very poor, right? And small peasants with a group of peasants who have a small amount of land. So what they do this subsistence agriculture in which they cultivate the land for their own consumption, not for the surplus. Right? And then we have these large landholders, right? Huge amount of land. Some people have a huge amount of land. In Buddhist texts they mention Gahapatis. They are called Gahapatis. Gahapati is a Prakrit word. Gahara means ghar, right? So they are the owner of the household. They own all the animals, person, woman, everything belongs to and under him. Right? So he's a head of the house. So in exam, there must be a 1 mark question about what do you understand by the term Gahapati. So you need to learn about it. Understood? And not only that. Okay, see, this is a picture of the social division prevailed in Europe, right? But I just took this picture, put it picture over here to clarify your this idea about the social divisions. In Europe, there's landowners, aristocracy, then middle class, we have this small peasant, then we have working classes, we have this landless agriculture. Okay. Not exactly same, that kind of society was, the prevailing is Europe, in India, that kind of societies were there during that time. Okay. Now, we have another sources to know about social difference during the time. One important source that historian got was Tamil Sangam text or Tamil literature, right? We have discussed about Tamil literature in this Tamilicum, right? In this Chola Chera Pandya's history, right? So in Tamil Sangam literature, they mention about the different kind of social groups or categories were there. They mention about the large landowners. Villalars are large landowners. And plowman, Uzawar. And then slave, Adimai. Right? So these are the different kind of social categories or social divisions there in India during the time was mentioned in ancient Tamil text or Sangam literature. Understood? So this is all about the social difference in the rural area during that time or countryside. Understood? And the last, we are going to discuss about land grants and new rural elites. Now here, a grant means gift, right? Now, during the ancient time, who has the right to give the land? Of course, king, right? So king, what the king used to do? King give the land to the whoever they want, even nobles or the nobles were there, brahmanas were there, religion institutions were there, poets were there, right? They give the land grant in the name of patronage. And new rural elite means they were different kind of person in the rural area. If they receive a land, he become elite, right? Powerful people. So we are going to discuss about it. Now, first major important that you need to know in this topic is now from where archaeology know about the land grant were made during the time, right? So archaeology found many inscriptions, right, which talked about the land grant were made during the time. We find a land grant recorded in inscription, right? We have found, archaeology have found many copper inscriptions, right, on which the land grants were made. And also they found many stone inscriptions, right, written on the stone about when and where they made a land grant, to whom, everything written in this inscription, right? But now, as I told you, right, land grants were made for brahmanas, religion institutions, nobles, right, and even poets, right. But historian, most of the inscriptions they found was land grant given to the religion institution and brahmanas. See, the land grant were usually made for religious institution or to brahmanas. Now, religion institution, of course, it's in the case of sentiment, right? Yes, it's religion sentiment, they give the land grant. Now, to the brahmanas, I think, according to me, I think they give land grant to the brahmanas because of that, the relationship between these brahmanas and king are, I would call a symbiotic relation, in which both are win-win situation, right? What they do, a brahmana used to make, king divine in the eye of people, right? They say king are both the son of God, and then people start believing him or respect him, right? And then on the other hand, what king used to do, they give or they patronage, reward the land to the brahmanas. So that is some kind of win-win process, symbiotic relation, I would say. So through that way, I think king usually do the land grant to the brahmanas. So that must be a reason. There may be other reason also, but what I think was just like that. Understood? Now, here, if you remember, in this ancient society, right, during that time, 6th century BC, during the BCs, right, Dharma Shastra, Dharma Sutras are Hindu texts which mention about the rules and regulations in society. So, Dharma Shastras clearly mention that women were not allowed to keep property, right? And even the father died, his property was divided among his son, not to the daughter, right? See, women were not access to have land. That is, rules were there in ancient these texts. Dhamma Shastra and Sutras mention about it. But ironically, historians found inscription or this, history about women, women have access to the land. We have this Prabhavati Gupta, right? This powerful queen of this Chandragupta II daughter. See? Prabhavati Gupta, daughter of Chandragupta II. See? who found the Gupta Empire? Is Chandragupta Maurya? No, Chandragupta first, right? Chandragupta Maurya found the Mauryan Empire. Now, Chandragupta first son was Samudragupta. Samudragupta's son was Chandragupta second. And Chandragupta second was also known as this Vikramaditya, right? So, his daughter, Chandragupta second daughter, Prabhavati Gupta, has access to land, independent access to land, because she was queen at the time. What Chandragupta Maurya II did, he gave his daughter to she married with this very powerful ruling dynasty in the Deccan part, Vakatakas, right? King Rudras, right? So where there was a history about her that she even ruled for almost 20 years in Vakatakas as a queen. Right? So she was very popular. Now the problem here is historians have to find now, right? Why she had that much power at the time? Because text says something, Dharmashastra says something, and actual is something. So historians say that must be exception because she was a queen. Some historian mentions like that, and some other historian says that because of in the ancient time the rules that made by the Brahmins were not followed equally by the people, We have this Hidamba and Bhim marriage. We have this Draupadi marriage. Some kind of rules that were not, and we also have these non-Kshatriya kings who are also there, right? So this is all about the land grant, right? Now the most problem here is now why king used to make the land grant. Now that is the question, the answer need to find by the archaeologists. Now over here, the historians have hotly debated among them why king made the land grant. So they came across, they got a conclusion, or they get three reasons why they do the land grant. Now, the first reason why king do the land grant, according to the historian, is some historians feel that land grants were made to extend agriculture area. Suppose, yes, of course, if I'm king, I give land to Sonam, right? Suppose Sonam, what Sonam will do, Sonam will allow this land to ask the people to cultivate on his land because he needs a tax, right? So if the agriculture area extend, more tax means right, prosperity kingdom, right? Then through that way, that must be one reason why the archaeology thinks that historians think that king used to do the land grant. And second reason is some historians think that weakening of the king become poor and then try to win the support of Samanta, as I told you in the Gupta Empire, right? Samantas, right? Samantas means noble, right? During the time noble or these ministers, right? Even I told you that one of the very noted historian R.S. Sharma about the feudalism, he mentioned that decline of Gupta Empire is all because of the land grant Samanta system. That must when the Samantas become very popular, then they revolt against the king, and king need to face the consequences. Now, what I think, why king used to make this land grant, because I think it's kind of this policy of appeasement followed by the king, to win the support of the Samantas or nobles, right? So that was the reason, second reason why the king used to make the land grant according to historian. The third reason is to show how powerful they are. Right? Some historians feel that king tried to show themselves as a powerful. Right? Suppose if I give you an example, right? Some of your friends are very rich. So what he used to do, he lavishly, spend money on your friend. So your friend think that he's kind of rich because he used to spend a lot of money, right? Lavishly spending money on us. Right? He was very rich. Just like that. What king used to do? King give the land to the noble, and they try to show that he is very powerful among his noble. Right? So that must be a reason. Right? That must be a reason. So these three are the main reason why the king used to do the land grant during the ancient time. Right? And the last, there was a 1 mark question. What do you understand by the term? What do you mean by the term Agrahara land? Right? In 1 mark question, what do you understand by the Agrahara land? Now, Agrahara land is a kind of land which was, granted by the king to the Brahmanas, and they are free to pay the tax to the king. On that, they are allowed to collect tax from the common people. So these kind of land are called Agrahara land. Understood? So that is all about what are the changing happened in the countryside during that time. Understood? So next topic we are going to learn in the next video. Thank you.